Welcome to Bible Study for Beginners. Before we embark on this enlightening journey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like this video, and turn on notifications so you never miss any of our uplifting content. Today, we're diving into an enriching theme, rediscovering lost faith, the biblical figures who overcame spiritual drought. Have you ever felt like you were wandering in a spiritual desert, where your faith seemed to have quietly slipped away? You are not alone in this feeling. This reality has been faced by countless believers across generations. Many find themselves in phases where their connection to God feels distant, tenuous, or even entirely absent. In today's exploration, we will unearth inspiring stories from remarkable biblical figures who confronted similar spiritual challenges. They didn't just survive their crises, they transcended them and emerged with revitalized faith and deeper commitments to their spiritual paths. First up is Elijah, a prophet whose narrative is rich with powerful lessons on faith's resilience and the diverse human experience. Despite his staggering victory over the prophets of Baal, an epic showdown where God showcased his might in spectacular fashion, Elijah quickly slides into despair. Following this monumental win, he flees into the wilderness, consumed by fear of Queen Jezebel's looming threats against his life. In 1 Kings 19, we find Elijah at his most vulnerable, sitting beneath a broom tree, wishing for death, overwhelmed by feelings of isolation and hopelessness. His plight resonates deeply. Doesn't it remind you how swiftly our spiritual highs can turn into shadows of despair? In Elijah's story, divine intervention becomes a transformative theme. God does not abandon Elijah. Instead, he sends an angel to provide vital nourishment through food and water. This seemingly simple act emphasizes that during our darkest times, both physical and spiritual sustenance matter profoundly. God meets us at our point of need, reminding us that we are worthy of care and grace. After receiving this revitalizing care, Elijah journeys toward Mount Horeb, a sacred place rich with meaning. Here, amidst the powerful forces of natural wind, earthquake, and fire, God chooses to speak. Remarkably, he does not communicate through these dramatic displays, but rather through a gentle whisper. This teaches us an essential lesson. During our darkest hours, divine guidance often arrives in subtle, unexpected ways. It challenges us to pause, listen, and remain open to God's presence, even when it feels elusive. Next, we turn our focus to Peter, the steadfast disciple of Jesus, whose life vividly illustrates resilience amid turmoil. Known for his zealous declarations of loyalty, Peter's journey is also marked by profound moments of failure, and most memorably when he denies knowing Jesus 3 times during the critical moments leading up to the crucifixion. Imagine the crushing weight of betrayal. After Jesus' resurrection, Peter is afforded an extraordinary moment of restoration by the Sea of Galilee, echoing with significance. In John 21, Jesus asks him 3 poignant times, "Do you love me?" This exchange brims with emotional depth. It represents more than mere forgiveness. It invites Peter to reclaim his purpose and reaffirm his calling. Jesus' command to Peter, "Feed my sheep," starkly underscores that our failures do not disqualify us from fulfilling our divine destinies. Each of us can draw strength from Peter's narrative and embrace the truth that our moments of doubt can serve as pivotal stepping stones toward renewed understandings of our journey. Like Peter, we too can rise from our setbacks, fortified with stronger resolve and clearer missions, recognizing the grace that encompasses our paths. Now, let's explore the poetic depths of the Book of Psalms, primarily authored by King David. This collection provides profound emotional landscapes rich with resonance for anyone grappling with spiritual drought. David's psalms express the full spectrum of human experience, anguish, betrayal, and despair, yet they consistently convey an unwavering pursuit of hope. Consider Psalm 42, where David articulates an intense longing for God amid a time of spiritual barrenness. By vocalizing his struggles, David's earnest dialogue with God becomes a transformative practice. It highlights the healing power of connection. Remember the importance of worship and reflection. When we recount God's faithfulness in our lives, we can convert our anguish into renewed hope and authentic praise, echoing David's journey of faith. Finally, let's contemplate the profound parable of the prodigal son, found in Luke 15. This poignant story begins with a young man making reckless choices, distancing himself from both his father and his values. His journey leads to Deary Straits, where he longs for Evan the slop fed to pigs. Yet, upon his return, he encounters a father who runs to him with open arms, embracing him freely. This narrative beautifully captures the essence of rediscovering faith. No matter how far we stray, there is always a bridge back to reconciliation and restoration. These stories transcend time, serving as powerful reminders that spiritual droughts are intrinsic to the human experience. They affirm the persistence of hope. Each figure teaches us that reclaiming faith and renewing our relationship with God are always within reach, regardless of the struggles we encounter. So, reflect on your life. Can you identify moments when you felt distant from God, only to be drawn back to Him through experiences akin to these? As we dive even deeper into the theme of rediscovering lost faith, let's further immerse ourselves in Elijah's extraordinary life. This Old Testament prophet's journey is steeped in intense spiritual complexities and experiences. After his decisive victory over the prophets of Baal on Mount Carmel, a moment celebrated by God and the people, Elijah suddenly finds himself plunged into deep despair, triggered by Queen Jezebel's relentless threats. This swift descent serves as a stark reminder of how fleeting our spiritual highs can be, easily spiraling into despair when faced with formidable opposition. Sitting desolately beneath a broom tree, Elijah's desperate plea for death reflects sentiments many of us can relate to during our personal faith struggles. Yet, divine intervention stands as a poignant hallmark of Elijah's narrative. Rather than leave him wallowing in despair, God sends an angel to provide an essential lifeline and nourishment that replenishes not only his body, but invigorates his spirit. This pivotal act of sustaining Elijah physically sets the stage for his profound encounter with God on Mount Horeb. In stark contrast to the tempestuous events of wind, earthquake, and fire, God speaks to him not with a loud voice, but in a gentle whisper. This powerful lesson emphasizes that during spiritual crises, divine reassurance is often found amid moments of stillness and peace, rather than through overwhelming displays of power. When seeking to reconnect with our faith, just like Elijah, we should actively cultivate silence and create the necessary space for God's voice to penetrate our busy lives and guide us back toward clarity and purpose. Let's reflect on Peter's transformative journey, beautifully captured in the New Testament. Known as the Rock of the Church, Peter's experience resonates with the struggles many of us face regarding our convictions. Following his denial of Jesus, it's easy to imagine him feeling utterly lost and unworthy of grace. However, after the resurrection, Jesus seeks Peter out on the shores of Galilee, asking him a simple yet profound question: "Do you love me?" The significance of this question is repeated 3 times, symbolizing complete restoration, a divine invitation to embrace Peter back into a place of active service and unwavering commitment. This encounter conveys a crucial truth about faith: our past failures do not define us or our potential. Instead, they frequently propel us toward growth in purpose and understanding. The path of faith is rarely linear. Recognizing that we can stumble yet still be reinstated emphasizes the grace that characterizes our journeys. As we thoughtfully reflect on the timeless story of the prodigal son, we uncover profound insights about grace and acceptance. This parable narrates humanity's struggle with faith and the allure of worldly distractions. The wayward son squanders his inheritance in reckless living, only to find himself in desperation, longing for a better situation. Yet, the moment he resolves to return home, he is greeted by a father exhibiting unconditional love, running to him with arms wide open, readily embracing him in forgiveness. This story vividly illustrates a vital tenet of faith: redemption is perpetually within reach. No matter how far one strays, the opportunity to return and be embraced by God's loving presence is always available. As you contemplate the stories of these biblical figures, take a moment to reflect on your own experiences with spiritual drought. Each narrative emphasizes the importance of persistence and the continued yearning for God. This reinforces that even during our lowest moments, we can reach out and rediscover our faith in profound and meaningful ways. Are there specific instances where you felt a renewed sense of commitment or connection after a period of spiritual struggle? These reflections can illuminate your path forward. As we approach the conclusion of our exploration into the profound theme of rediscovering lost faith, let's take a closer look at several biblical figures who faced spiritual drought yet emerged resilient and empowered. One of the most compelling narratives we cannot overlook is the story of Job. His life stands as a powerful testament to unwavering faith amid suffering, experiencing the devastating loss of family, wealth, and health. Despite being engulfed in immense trials, Job boldly declares, "Though he slay me, yet will I hope in him." His narrative imparts critical lessons. During spiritual droughts, we can cultivate a richer, deeper trust in God. Particularly in moments when hopelessness looms around us, let us remember that Job found restoration through perseverance, demonstrating that enduring through trials not only strengthens us but can also lead to remarkable breakthroughs and revitalized faith. Revisiting Elijah's story, we again encounter a prophet who has experienced spectacular victories but also faces disillusionment and fear. In fleeing into the wilderness, Elijah exemplifies a crisis many of us grapple with, a spiritual conflict rooted in fear and loneliness. Yet, it is amid his struggles that God meets him in that gentle whisper, contrasting the loud chaos of nature. This gentle communication invites us to remain attentive. During spiritual droughts, we often discover divine guidance through quiet contemplation and heartfelt prayer. To reconnect with your faith, prioritize those moments of stillness that cultivate deep communion with God, allowing His whispers to encourage and direct you during life's trials. Consider Peter's transformative journey after his denial. His personal encounter with the resurrected Christ encapsulates the essence of forgiveness and renewal. Jesus' restoration of Peter is profoundly impactful. He not only forgives Peter but also empowers him with a divine mission anew. This revelation emphasizes that our transgressions do not define our identity. Rather, they can draw us closer to our true calling. The journey of faith is often a winding road, and recognizing that we can falter yet be reinstated underscores the remarkable grace woven throughout our spiritual narratives, where God's call to us remains steadfast and unwavering. Additionally, the Bible provides us with essential tools for navigating our own spiritual droughts. Engaging in regular practices such as prayer, scripture study, and fostering relationships within a community of believers can invigorate our faith profoundly. Each biblical figure endured moments of doubt, reminding us that faith transcends unwavering belief. It is an ongoing pursuit of God, even amid adversity. Reflect on the moments where God has demonstrated faithfulness in your life, even during uncertain times. It's vital to bring your doubts and questions before Him. Engaging with uncertainty is part of a healthy spiritual journey. Often these reflections lead to clearer understanding and reaffirmations of our beliefs. Picture Job, Elijah, and Peter as exemplary figures in your life, exemplifying the transformative power of faith and the hope that awaits us after struggle. Finally, don't hesitate to share your reflections or experiences in the comments below. Remember, the journey of faith is enriched when undertaken collectively. Subscribe to continue exploring Scripture with us and join this incredible journey as we grow and strengthen our faith together. By fostering community and engaging in these discussions, we can further enrich our understanding and practice of faith, enabling us to better support each other through life's challenges and spiritual deserts.